everybody. God is going to save everybody. The only people of God are the children of Israel. Point blank. And in the Hebrew, the word there is sons of Israel. The word for children is sons, which is bunyam, which means sons of Israel.
All right. All right, so going back to the point, matter of fact, you still got that page open? You can just pull that back out, read that. Go to 2 Kings, the 16th chapter. And while the brother's getting that, you can start at the first verse. We're just showing you that they be going off on certain things. You know, and then you read certain things, and like, for instance, I'm gonna give you a good example. When you read the book of Acts, it's the 12th chapter, 4th verse. It speaks about Easter. The word Easter is not supposed to be there. The Hebrew word there is Pesach, and the Greek word there is Pascha, which is the Passover. So they go off on certain things. You know, like it says, sometimes they do it on purpose, sometimes they do it because they don't know. So for you, Prophet 666 worshippers out there, Deuteronomy 23:7 is not talking about an Edomite. All right? So he's going to read this again, and then we're going to hit another point, and then we're going to move on.
Go to 130 again?
Yep, 130 again.
All right. Strong's Concordance. I believe it's 1995. In the Hebrew, number 130. Edomi.
Which is really supposed to be Adom. But Esau, he gonna pronounce it the way he wants to pronounce it. Then he wants to try to put that pronunciation on us. But we don't deal with Esau's bullshit. All right? Go ahead, brother.
Okay, Adom, patron from 123, an Edomite or descendant from or inhabitant of Edom. Edomite. C number 726.
All right, go to 726.
Go there. Now, how did you pronounce that, Elder?
Aromia.
A clerical error for 130. So 726 is basically saying, you see 130? There was something wrong there. So that's basically what they're saying.
Right.
An Edomite, as in the margin, but then at the bottom it says Syrian.
Right, and it said thou shalt not abhor a Syrian. Because you got Assyria and you got Syria. So you should not abhor a Syrian. Like Syria, Arum. Alright? So now read 2 Kings 16 and start at 5. This is just, what's that? In 2 Kings?
Yeah.
No, it's talking about. Well, it's talking about the Arum, Syrian, the Syrians. And when they took, because they basically took us down. Because there's a portion of land. Somebody get the
original descendants
of what? No, the original descendant of Arum, which is one of the sons of Shem. They're called Syrian. You got Syrians, you have Assyrians. Now the Syrians, which were in that land, like for instance, Abraham, he was known. They called him Syrian. His peoples, because he came out of the line of Arphaxad, but then you had Shem, and Shem had I believe it was 5 sons. One of them was Arum. The land of Syria was named after Arum. Okay. So go ahead, brother.
Right, 2 Kings chapter 16, verse 5. Then Rezin, king of Syria, and Pekah, son of Remaliah, king of Israel, came up to Jerusalem to war, and they besieged Ahaz, but could not overcome him. At that time, Rezin, king of Syria, recovered Elath to Syria, and drave the Jews from Elath. And the Syrians came to Elath and dwelt there unto this day.
Right, now the land of Elath, or they call it Ezion Gabar, is right here where the Gulf of Akbar, which is in the Red Sea. You had the Gulf of Akbar right around the bottom, or the bottom half of South Saudi Arabia, around by the land of Edom. So that land was being fought back and forth between Israel and Esau. So then at that particular time we had it. Then the Syrians came and they took us out of that land, right? And it said, read that again, the 6th verse.
Right. At that time, Rezin, king of Syria.
Right, now Rezin, he was one of the Aramaic kings, right? So he came down there, he took Israel out of that land. Go ahead.
Right. Recovered Elath to Syria.
Now it's saying he recovered Elath, or that land, back to Syria. But when you go to this Blue Letter Bible, because I had a paper that I had this stuff written down, but I don't have it with me. But if you go to the Blue Letter Bible and you click on 2 Kings, the 16th chapter and the 6th verse, and you go to the Hebrew, when you read the Hebrew portion of it, not the breakdown where it goes into the English, when you read the Hebrew portion of it, the word Aromia or Arum is highlighted in blue. When you click on it, it tells you that in this particular verse, the word that's supposed to be there is Adom. Alright? So letting you know that there were certain instances where the word Edom was confused with the word Arum. So when you read the book of Deuteronomy 23:7, it's supposed to be, thou shalt not abhor an Arum, an Aramean, for he is thy brother. Now how could that be possible? Give me the book of Deuteronomy 26.
He said, just take copies.
And this, we're just gonna hit this point and we're gonna move on to something else, because this is something that has to be brought out. Because these guys, that's their whole foundation revolves around Deuteronomy 23:7 and the white man being Japhet. But go ahead, brother, read that.
26 and what?
26 and start the first verse.
That's why Esau.
Deuteronomy chapter 26 verse 1. And it shall be when thou art come in unto the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee
This is the Most High speaking to Israel. Go ahead.
for an inheritance, and possesseth it, and dwellest therein, that thou shalt take of the first of all the fruit of the earth, which thou shalt bring of thy land, that the Lord thy God giveth thee, and shalt put it in a basket, and shall go unto the place which the Lord thy God shall choose to place his name there. And thou shalt go unto the priest that shall be in those days, and say unto him, I profess this day unto the Lord thy God, that I am come unto the country which the Lord sware unto our fathers for to give us. And the priest shall take the basket out of thine hand, and shake it down before the altar of the Lord thy God. And thou shalt speak and say before the Lord thy God, a Syrian ready to perish was my father.
Right, a Syrian ready to perish was my father. Who was that? That was Abraham.
Right.
Why? Because Abraham was, even though he wasn't of the line of Aram, he was his brother Haran dwelt in the land of Syria. So he went from Ur of the Chaldees, where he left that place where his father was worshiping idols, and they went what they call the Fertile Crescent. Get that map again. They call the so-called scholars call it the Fertile Crescent, right? Which is the land. Sorry, brother. Right here by the Euphrates, and if you walk in like in an archway here, that's what they call it, the crescent, the Fertile Crescent, because it was fertile because of the trees and all the vegetation it had, and plus when you walk, it was in this form of a crescent moon, because south of that was all desert, right? So when he left from Ur of the Chaldees, he went up here to the land of Haran, which is where his brother died, his brother Haran, and they lived in that land. That's what they say, a Syrian ready to perish was thy father. Go ahead.
Right. And he went down into Egypt and sojourned there with a few, and became there a nation.
Right.
Great.
That was Abraham. Abraham became a great nation. The Most High told him that of your seed I will make of thee a great nation. Go ahead.
Right. And became there a nation, great, mighty, and populous.
And populous meaning vast. Go ahead.
And the Egyptians evil entreated us and afflicted us and laid upon us hard bondage.
Right, now that's going back when we went into the land of Egypt.
Right.
But the point was Syrian. Now why did the Lord say not to abhor Syrian? Because of the fact that even Laban was known as what? Laban was known as Syrian. Not Assyrian, but Syrian. From the line of Aram. I mean, I know this might be a little boring, but these are facts, these are points, you know? So that's why the Lord said, thou shalt not abhor a Syrian. Why? Because he is thy brother, going back to Abraham, going back to Laban. Rachel she was from the line of Aram. Through her came the nation of Israel. We took refuge. Moses took refuge by the Midianites in that land. So those people took us in. As to where our own so-called brother Esau